One, I'm Machine, and joining me is my good buddy here, SeriOsity. Hey, how's it going, Seri?
Hey, Machine. Welcome to the stream. Doing well.
Thank
I
you,
mean,
bud.
you saw that first series, fantastic games from the players, especially Oya, just bringing out his best. I've never seen him play this dominant.
Yeah, man, I couldn't agree more. It's definitely like a breakout performance for him. You kind of mentioned even the games that he lost, to DeWalt, it was feasible at some points that he had advantages and things he could have held out to win. So like for him to make that huge comeback is such a big deal, and very impressive. Hmm.
Yeah, coming down from 2 games to 0 is not easy, especially against a player of DeWalt's level.
Yep, of course. But yeah, of course, now we have our other semifinals match. It's going to be Dandy going up against Bonyth, another repeat from last year's RCG or 2 years ago's RCG semifinals match. And the last time, man, Dandy won it. You've kind of been talking to me about how active Dandy has been lately. Do you think he's got a good shot here against Bonyth?
No, here's the thing. I'm trying to remember because in RCG 2019, the first one, which Bonyth won, he played Dandy in the round of 8. And he won very convincingly, 3-0. None of the games were close. I think the entire series lasted maybe like 18 minutes. That's how dominant Bonyth was. He would just win with the first unit he would control. If it was a Zealot, a Dragoon, or a Reaver. But one thing, that was turn rate 24. That's a different scenario. In the rematch, which was online in 2020, Danny was able to win with some slick timings, and I think it was 3-2. Yeah, it was 3-2. So very close, but Bonyth lost to Dandy. Now we're having their first match since then, and Dandy, I mentioned earlier, has been playing nonstop. I would say maybe in like the past 9 months to a year, where he's fully dedicated to BroodWar, just streaming on Trovo and Facebook.
Yeah,
If there's a moment, he
really
definitely
active.
has a shot here. But I mean, it's just Bonyth, right? How can you go against Bonyth in a TVP? Just other than Mihu, I can't think of anyone who can consistently beat Bonyth.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you, man. I mean, he's just got such impressive Reaver control versus Terran. He's always very active with those shuttles. It's really just like unit control and understanding of timings that set Bonyth apart. Also loves his carriers late game. I'd expect at least one of these games to go towards 2 Stargate or 3 Stargate carrier. But yeah, man, this is going to be a really exciting one, and it sounds like our players are ready here. So let's get into game number 1 of our semifinals match number 2, Dandy versus Bonyth. And spawning top left as the red Protoss, it is Bonyth.
And in the bottom left, we have the blue Terran Dandy.
Nice. Fighting Spirit gonna be the first map. This is this could be pretty exciting. How do you think this one's gonna open up actually? Do you think Dandy could go for something like a 2 factory game number 1, just given their positions, or what are? Do you think Bonyth could go for something like a 12 nex?
Well, Bonyth never goes 12 nex. He just doesn't like to take unnecessary risks. Bonyth usually just goes for gate expand. Sometimes he'll mix in proxy Reaver. Sometimes he'll open DT just to mix things up, but his standard is gateway, Nexus, Robo, going to Reaver, then going to carrier, and it plays interestingly because Dandy, from what I've seen, 90% of his TVPs are 2 base timings, and he'll mix up how he opens, but usually it just leads to a big 2 base timing, and sometimes you'll even go up to 7 factories off of it.
Yeah, that 7-fact timing push, I feel like he's very, very good at. I think these are also maybe good positions for Dandy to go for some type of a 2-base timing, or at least he could push to maybe secure a third at 9 o'clock or something like that, even if the push fails. So you never really want to get caught, versus these 2-base timings, especially close positions like this. But it happens. Bonyth, though, very good with the Reaver, so I feel like his typical 2-gate into Robo style plays well towards early aggression, because that Reaver is just so powerful at defending 2-base timings, as long as you have the control for it, and obviously Bonyth does.
Alright, looks like it's going to be a Rax expand from Dandy. He likes to do this and make the Rax on the high ground. And Bonyth should go for the gas steal here. Gas steal against Rax expand is actually very deadly. There it is.
He still might, yep. But still, Dandy going to be able to get that command center down. Oh, he puts a high ground command center up. Okay. Interesting. Looks like the Marine starting to shoot away at that assimilator. Bonyth trying to get a little bit of harassment done on this SCV, but is pushed away from that Marine. Dandy pulling some SCVs to try to tear down that assimilator and be able to take his refinery. Yeah, pretty standard here though so far. I'd expect to see a bunker at the natural before too long from Dandy, just to be able to defend Bonyth's early Dragoon. Looks like we see Dragoon range also being researched, so this isn't going to be any kind of greedy, super fast Robo, Reaver timing, or something along those lines.
Yep. And Nexus timing is fast, and Dandy's high ground command center actually comes at a big cost. You have to float, and the time it takes to float to go to natural is like 2 SCVs worth. So it's a big deal to make it on the high ground. Even if you do make it faster than the low ground command center, you gotta factor that in. And Dandy's gonna get the scouting information. You're gonna see the Nexus timing.
Yeah, this is pretty important. At least being able to see that, hey, Bonyth's not going for some type of silly 3-gate all-in or something. He sees that Nexus. He should feel comfortable in taking his Expo here right now. Looks like Barracks being floated to the natural to be a part of the wall off here for Dandy. That lone Dragoon just chasing that SCV around. Looks like Bonyth really cutting units in order to maximize his mining at this point, his tech. But obviously he doesn't really need a lot of Dragoons, I feel like, this early on anyway, versus a gasless expand. There's really no pressure possibility out of Dandy here, with just like Mass Marine SCV or something like that 2 Dragoons couldn't deal with. Factory just about to complete inside Dandy's main. Looks like Bonyth kind of content with just holding his natural with these 3 Dragoons. I don't know if he maybe assumes there could be a Vulture out on the map or something like that.
Quick second gas from Dandy. This is gonna be... I mean, because it's Dandy, I don't think it's gonna be for upgrade style. We haven't seen an armory quite yet. Should just be a second factory here. Now, there will be some pressure on this bunker, but not a ton. But
okay, just enough for some repair or something.
Yeah. 3 Dragoons is a good number to start pressuring with. 4 is when it starts getting scary for the Rax expand, because that's when tanks can be 2-shot. I think this is going to be a pylon for spotting, maybe even for just being annoying and later denying the command center. And we do see an armory finally from Dandy, and that should be siege mode on the factory there.
Yeah, it looks to be siege mode. We do see that armory, so could be a little bit of a later timing. It seems like out of Dandy here. Still could be like 2-base timing, right? You see a lot of like +1 timings, or he could even wait up to like 2-1 or something like that. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. very quick siege, definitely in time here. Comp stack going down inside the main, so Dandy can start getting an idea of what Bonyth's up to. Bonyth, though, already taking 12 o'clock. Looks to be backing up with his Dragoons, but has an observer on the way. Should be able to see Dandy's tech here. So scan going down, sees the robo, 2 gateways, nothing too crazy. I would probably be expecting a 3rd base if you scan just 2 gateways at this point in the game. First Goliath is out in order to push off this observer from Bonyth, but still waiting on scan energy. Yeah, not too much going on for either player right now. They're just kind of running through their builds. This is the occasional thing that happens in TVP where both players are actually just trying to expand and not going for any type of early timing, just focusing on economy. So,
alright, that gas from Bonyth, that's a very quick 3rd gas. So this is going to indicate to me carriers very quickly. And the one thing I've been looking at, yeah, there's the Stargate, is Dandy is always looking to go for that 2 base timing, but the way he's setting up to play this game is actually upgrade time. But there we go. There are the additional factories. This is going to be a 1-0 timing. And question with Dandy is always, how many factories? This is actually going to be 6 fact plus 1. Sometimes you even do 7 fact. And there's the observer finally getting a peek at the factory count. There's the add-on. Nice scan from Dandy to get rid of that observer, but the information is already known to Bonyth, and we see the big gateway explosion. Normally here, you actually want to go reavers, and this carrier switch that he was going to go into delayed, but oh, it's going to be Corsairs. This is something...
I think that's to tank, right, for shuttles or something?
Okay, any other player, I would say yes, but because it's Bonyth, I think this is just going to be for D-Web. And you might be thinking, what, D-Web, huh? But it's actually very effective. So you actually want to make the Corsairs very early, so they have enough energy for the D-Web later. We'll see. This timing from Dandy is going to be very fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very quick timing here. At least Bonyth does have the info he needs to spot it out, so he is making the proper preparations. Like you said, it doesn't look like we're seeing carrier anymore. I don't think the carriers would have been up in time to hold it. So he is reacting. But yeah, we did see that Corsair, and we are still seeing a fleet beacon. It looks to be D-Web. I can't believe it. This is insane. Wow. Huh. I mean, how often do you see that in a competitive match? This is truly some impressive stuff here out of Bonyth.
Yeah, and Fighting Spirit adjacent spawns, push path very quick. Still a little nerve-wracking, but Bonyth has the tools at his disposal. Usually you want to go into reavers to further stall this push, but Bonyth is just going to go into mass gateway units with D-Web. So one way to counteract this, let's see how it works out. It's a very interesting response for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely is, man. Only 3 Corsairs so far. Looks to be a little bit of a 5 Vulture run by from Dandy, but that is scouted and defended. 5 more Vultures running out along the right side of the map. They should be able to get some vision, lay some mines towards the top side of the map here. Oh, actually they're going to run into the natural. Or the third.
But there's a trap. There's already a pylon wall here from Bonyth.
Oh, wow.
Very well for any kind of counterplay Dandy can add into this game. But I don't know if Dandy actually knows what Bonyth is doing, right? You're going to see one Stargate, a lot of gateways, and nothing else. Doubt he'll suspect this is Corsair, but who knows, maybe Dandy's seen this before. Another thing is, here we go. There's the big push. He was just using these vultures now. Pull Bonyth slightly out of position. They're the Corsairs. He scouts them with that scan.
He did scan them. I can't believe it. Incredible. Looks like Bonyth trying to maybe just delay this push timing a little bit. Allow those Corsairs some more time in order to build up energy here. But he's also just kind of starting to gather and rally all of his units as well. So it's clear this is going to be the big fight.
Yeah, and after Like the plan for Bonyth is to push back this initial push, switch into carries. There's the first D-web. That gets something like 5 tanks. Zealots are already on top of the army. You can see the Dragoons getting free shots on these tanks now. Danny just pulling back, trying to run onto this high ground. But a lot of tanks already have gone down. He's on the high ground now, but this is another D-web opportunity, and you can see how easily Bonyth was able to clean up this army. These tanks are not even shooting now.
I mean, the D-webs are just perfect. He could not have picked 2 better D-webs, it felt like, for that entire fight. And he just feels confident enough to hang on to them. You know, he still has push potential with this. Ooh, very nice run-by attempt, though, from Dandy, trying to stall, trying to do a little bit of eco damage, buy some time in order to gather up more tanks and just try to hold at this point. Because Bonyth is very much in the lead. Big supply advantage going to the Protoss.
Nice full wall here from Bonyth. You can see it's going to minimize the amount of damage these vultures can actually do. And even though this was a lot of damage, I mean, the push has been stopped. It's been thwarted. And in these Stargates, I'm pretty sure are carriers now.
You know, I like that you pointed out the wall, because it really has played such a big impact on this game. Normally, when you think of Dandy, right, you think of vultures. He has some of the best vulture harass, some of the best vulture control you can think of, but Bonyth is just shutting it down by just full walling every position. It's very nice. Corsairs being pushed off from the high ground 9 o'clock base. But yeah, we have about a 60 supply lead here for Bonyth. He might actually just sense blood and try to go attack into this 9 o'clock position at this point.
Yeah, you can see the game plan from Bonyth was just, okay, I hold this push with these Corsairs. I already have a Stargate. I'm already gonna get a fleet beacon. And then I'm in position to transition into carriers, which is my game plan all along. And it's just a very smooth transition. And you can see just the one D-web, how it nullified 5 tanks, which is half the tank count. Just think about that. One D-web.
A single D-web. And then even the second one up the ramp was catching the 2 siege tanks, the other tanks running up the ramp. It's really tough to avoid, honestly. And then what do? Get a bunch of Goliaths to kill Corsairs? You know, it doesn't make... It's so bizarre because you never see it, I feel like. Carriers moving into this 9 o'clock. Nice.
The 9 o'clock is just not the base. Danny would have been better off taking 6, but Danny realizing the game's basically over, and very dominant display from Bonyth. I mean, the Corsairs, the thing is, I think he was gonna go Corsair regardless of what Danny was doing, but it specifically just did a fantastic job against the timing attack.
Yeah, he really did, man. I can't believe that's only game 1, right? And we already are seeing Corsairs, you know, with D-Web. It was very impressive, man. So, I don't know. Dandy, I thought had the right build for what was going on, right? That 7-fact timing is like a good proper counter to something like carrier openers. But, you know, it wasn't enough. Bonyth was able to easily hold, like you said, with that D-Web. So, like, it's a little... I wonder what Dandy really needs to adjust in order to go from here.
Yeah, I mean, Fighting Spirit, adjacent spawns, I can't think of a better scenario for a timing attack. It's just Bonyth was well prepared for it, and he got the scouting information he needed. You saw he didn't skip a beat on adding those gateways. He didn't make any carriers, right? Because say you go into carriers, you have 1 or 2 carriers, it's not going to help out at all. So just making the call to go D-Web with mass gateway army was just the correct read, and obviously good control as expected from Bonyth.
Yeah, man, that control is really what's set him apart, honestly. You know, he not taking any of the damage from the vulture run-bys, I think also played a big part. It's just good, solid PvT play out of Bonyth, as you'd expect. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe if the next map's something like Sylphid, Dandy might stand a better chance of you know, doing a 2-base timing, but we'll have to wait and see. It sounds like we are ready to jump into the game, folks. Oh, never mind. It's the map is going to be Eclipse, we're being told. So yeah, Eclipse. Good. Honestly, another good 2-base timing map, I feel like, for TVP. So maybe we'll see more of the same here from Dandy. It's a very difficult map, I feel like, for Terran to secure their third. You know, you really think of like Protoss Koreans like Shuttle abusing this map PVT, you know, in snow, just with these mass speed zealot, dragoon, observer, like shuttle speed reaver, like zealot drop timings, and it's so difficult to secure the third on this map for Terran, but great for 2 base timings, 6 facts, 7 facts. I feel like you see a lot of that here, so yeah, we'll have to wait and see what Dandy has in store for us, but it sounds like our players are ready to go. It's going to be game number 2, Dandy going up against Bonyth on Eclipse. And spawning top right as the blue Terran hailing from South America, it is Soul T Dandy.
And in the bottom left, we have Bonyth. And one thing I gotta mention, late game PvT on this map, Protoss Ghost carriers, the movement around the map is very difficult for Terran.
Yeah, Protoss can really utilize that like neutral ground area in the dead center of the map to just kind of pick away with carriers. Oh, it's so brutal to deal with. I really hope we get to see carriers this game.
And no shenanigans from Bonyth. Sometimes you see early stuff like gas steal or proxy gate.
Yeah, on a 2-player map like this, it's definitely like a great option. You know, even that single like proxy 1-gate gas steal stuff is enough to really throw Terrans off their game, and can get you some pretty quick, easy wins. Gateway going down inside the main, so it looks to be more of the same from Bonyth, not taking a risk by going something like a 12 next. You know, being up 1-0. Everything's been working all right for him so far. You know, I think it's probably a good decision. Barracks going down inside the main here for Dandy. We'll have to see if he maybe opts for a standard gas game, or if he wants to have his, you know, another try at gasless. It looks like the refinery is going down inside the main.
Yep, just a 12 gas from Dandy. He's gonna check his main. You see that FPV going to the left side. Now it's gonna go out. Probably check common proxy locations. And look at Bonyth. He's already preparing. Like, this is just standard Protoss optimization, right? With your buildings. You make it in such a way that if you're later dropped, you already have buildings in the way of potential vultures. So he's walling out behind the mineral line. You see he only needs another building to completely seal the top side of his mineral. So Bonyth just playing standard, safe, nothing special.
Yeah, I really like this. Like, having the forethought on these maps to know exactly how they should be mapped out and, like, you know, block off potential vulture timings. It's not something, you know, every Protoss does. So clearly Bonyth is, like, very, very practiced at this. Factory down inside the main here for Dandy. Only 2 on gas here for Bonyth, probably going for, I don't know if that's like an earlier Nexus, I would assume. Maybe this is like 23 Nexus. I'm not sure.
He's still getting range, so it's not the fastest Nexus possible after 1-gate goon. Let's see how much he can get done with this 1 Zealot Dandy. Of course, it's very good mirroring control. 3 Zealot, 3 Marines will beat 1 Zealot with good control, yeah. So we see him pulling back right away. Still gonna force a bunker before command center, which is really all you're looking to do.
That Nexus does go down at Bonyth's natural. Yeah, as you said, bunker going down as well. It looks like it's I think it's pretty much in time here. I don't know. It's going to be a little close. Dragoon's coming in. Marine taking a little bit of damage. First Marine falls, but Vulture ends up coming in. Bunker does not make it up. Ooh, this is big trouble here for Dandy. Trying to get a good focus fire down on this last Dragoon, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like Bonyth's already doing some good damage here.
Yeah, good value from early game units. This is something that's a staple of Bonyth games, right? You'll just get more out of the units than a regular Protoss.
Yeah, it honestly feels that way. Ooh, picking up the scouting SCV as well, but yeah, it's really what makes him stand out, man. His control, his Dragoon control, Zealot control, Reaver control, Carrier control. It's just like, I don't know, he makes it look so strong, honestly. Vulture scouting around the third base for Dandy. I think he's just maybe trying to make sure Bonyth's not getting away with any kind of super greedy third or something, but should be good for now. I wonder if this is going to be mines first at Dandy.
It should be. He already knows there's not going to be a lot of pressure, so no reason to rush siege mode. He already has a bunker as well. One thing I was looking at is how much faster Bonyth's Nexus is than Dandy's command center, because he's already mining like a minute and a half before Dandy's command center finishes. So in the early game, Bonyth, I would say, pretty comfortable advantage, just how things have ended up.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to agree with you. I didn't really realize how much later the command center was, but maybe that was just due to the early pressure or something. But yeah, either way, Bonyth is he's not skipping a beat here.
So Vulture mine is done. There's already something at the third though. This is, maybe he's gonna hide the probe. Yeah, 550. It's just too fast for a third Nexus. You haven't even gotten an observer to see what your opponent's doing. Dandy somehow, like, he saw the pylon. He's like, okay, there's a probe here.
Yeah.
Ooh, and these Dragoons eat a mine. So far, Dandy doing some things. He's gotten a probe. He's gotten some damage on some Dragoons.
Yeah,
I like that he's even gonna save the Vulture as well.
And that Vulture still has a mine. That's kind of cool. But yeah, nice moves so far from Dandy. Only 2 factory, and actually we already see very early turrets this time. Maybe just for drop defense.
Ooh, the deadly 44-44 supply block.
Oh
man,
boy.
We've been here a while, and that depot hasn't completed. Where is it?
It's just nerves, man. You're playing Bonyth in a semifinals. Sometimes you miss a depot.
Oh man, we have to double depot. You could see this is painful, man.
Ooh,
I mean, if you watch our Tulsa stream, you can see how common this 44-44. It happens to the best of them. And this means
happens to the best of them.
His timing is gonna be so delayed now. He's just gonna have way less units.
Did you just go for a third then? Oh, is there no siege? Oh no, tanks engaging from high ground. No repair on the bunker though. And these Dragoons might be able to just march into the natural here, getting some good damage on taking down a turret. Looks like they're kind of doing some damage to the barracks. Ooh, focus firing the first tank. First tank goes down. Second tank, very bruised. Third tank also taking some damage. It's just, oh, and finally though, siege mode does complete for Dandy. It looks like he will be able to push this off, but not before taking some significant damage there.
Okay, so that's where Bonyth and I are different. I would have seen those tanks sieging up. I would have, this is my moment to go up the ramp. And then I would have lost all these Dragoons, and the mischance would have worked against me. But Bonyth...
you and me both.
Bonyth realizing, I already did a ton of damage. I killed the bunker, some SCVs, the Marines, and I killed a tank. I'm already in a good position. Let me not risk anything. And he just pulls back, doesn't lose his Dragoons. And now we have Vulture, gets 2 probe kills, which is nice, but like I said, combined with the 44 supply block and the fact that Dandy took a lot of damage from the Dragoon attack, I think this timing attack just has very little possibility of working. Although, if you're looking, gonna be a little bit different from last game. We're only on 2 gates. We're adding the gateways a little bit later, but we do have a shuttle here.
Yeah, we do have a shuttle, so I don't know. Maybe there's something he's able to get done with the shuttle Reaver or something like that that could, you know, extend his lead, I'd say, at this point. Because he definitely feels to have like a, you know, he's definitely starting to pull ahead here. But yeah, I don't know. This is going to be a little difficult for Dandy to get much damage done. As, you know, with the last game, it looks like Bonyth is just walling every time. He's not going to allow for any unnecessary damage to get dealt by these vulture timings. There we go, first Reaver. I don't know if that's the first Reaver, maybe there's 2. Ooh, Stargate down again as well. And the core is spinning. I think maybe that's just going to be carrier this time? I'm not sure. Ooh, big timing here from Danny. This is kind of an awkward timing. This is hitting a little faster than I was assuming. But Bonyth does have Reavers in time. He's positioning up on this high ground, which I think is about the best spot he could really hope to engage. Ooh.
From downtown.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Does he have no zealots? Okay, it looks like he does have a zealot. Nice unsiege there from Dandy. So far, very good push control. Just a moment, we're going in. We're still on the high ground. Most of these tanks are on the low ground. Now they don't have any vulture support.
The Reaver is just being picked up and dropped like on shot timing. This is insane control. Ooh, tank finally does get focused down, but I mean, not before all of the siege tanks have pretty much fallen here.
Yep, and now this is looking like a repeat of game number 1. Push gets held. Vulture's trying to get in, get some damage done. They're going to get a couple probes, but a couple probes, it's insignificant when the majority of your army is dead as Terran. And, I mean, Danny has very limited options now. Like, sure, he has a lot of factories, a lot of production, but he has no army. He has no tanks.
Yeah, there's no follow through. There's no third base. I mean, the tech's not great. The upgrades aren't really great. It's just gonna start spiraling a little bit here for him, I think. Nice pickup again on another tank here by Bonyth. He's got the observers just like in the perfect position to be able to scout out, you know, these little opportunities.
Yep, and you can see Dandy or Bonyth realizing the only way I can suffer any damage is if the vultures get him. So just covering his weaknesses. He already has a pylon wall here. He has a almost complete pylon wall as natural. Observers here to spot any army movement. And again, T-Whip.
Yeah, it looks like again it's going to be Corsairs. Wow, that's very bold at this point. Looks like the timing is coming in here though from Dandy. It's only 4 tanks, it looks like. Reaver dropping behind the siege tanks, getting very good connections, and yeah, things are looking good here for Bonyth.
Yeah, just a massacre. And he even walled his natural in. If anything, he'll kill the egg later.
Yeah, exactly. You could just kill off that egg, make a cannon or something like that. Ooh, it looks like Dandy actually going to be the one killing off the egg, though.
Dandy
the walling time by the Zealots, that was just perfect.
Nothing, wow. Not even a single vulture. And again, now he's going to scout with the Corsair, just to see. Even gets away with its entire life. Shuttle went to the 3rd to possibly harass, but there's not even a 3rd there. More vultures on the map. This is where Danny actually excels, just his vulture movement, but if you don't have a tank army to back this up, vultures can only do so much.
Yeah, you see, I mean, Bonyth just select out his Dragoons every time and he's fine with it. He'll go clear minefields, he'll engage vultures with pure goon, you know, all day, honestly. Yeah, only 3 tanks once again with this army. Reaver getting a very nice Scarab off to start things off here, and yeah, looks like Bonyth is all over this tank line immediately. And once again, just another solid trade here for Bonyth.
And again, just no avenue to get any damage done. Bonyth just covering all his weaknesses, and I'm pretty sure there are already carriers in production behind us, so there's a big timer on Dandy as well.
Yeah, I mean the carriers are like the biggest timer there is. It feels like it. Once that carrier count gets to about 4, I think it's just gonna be tough. And yeah, GG is called there. So wow, very very well done. Honestly, once again from Bonyth, he held a pretty incredible lead there once again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like not even an engagement, a final push. He knows how hopeless it is at that stage of the game, and Bonyth didn't even need a 4th. He just stays on 3 bases. He knows he has superior tech to his opponent. He already held a push. He has a bigger army. 3 versus 2 is more than enough bases in that scenario, and just had no weaknesses whatsoever once he held the push. Dandy is gonna have to mix things up, do something else in this final game, because so far it just seems like Bonyth is prepared for what he's gonna do. Just prepare for timing, hold it, and then win from there.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. It seems to be his game plan. It seems like, you know, he really is very familiar with Dandy's playstyle, and he does love those 2-base timings, but when you expect it, you know, game after game, maybe he's getting a little bit of an advantage from that. But either way, yeah, I think Dandy is the kind of player that he's been in these kind of situations before. He'll know to adjust here, and I can't wait to see, you know, what he ends up changing to. Yep, so we are getting ready for game number 3 here. Bonyth already with a big 2-0 lead in this one, looking very, very solid as expected. Winner of this series obviously going on to face Oya in the grand finals, so there's a lot at stake here. This is a repeat of last year's semifinals match as well, where Dandy actually came out the victor, so you know, Dandy's been here before, literally. He can, you know, he knows he can pull out a series here against Bonyth. So we'll see if maybe we get the comeback we saw in the first semifinals match.
I wonder if the call is just to go for a 3-base Terran, maybe go drop. I mean, Dandy has very good multitask. Maybe the lone weakness in Bonyth's gameplay is this multitask, like can't macro and micro at the same time, as well as some of the other top players. But Bonyth,
yeah,
so far,
I think that's a strong assessment. Yeah.
It looks like we are ready for game number 3.
And spawning top left as the blue Protoss, it is Bonyth. And spawning bottom right as the red Terran, it is Dandy. So Tau Cross, definitely one of the older maps, one we've really only been privy to in RCG as of like recently, because you don't really see it much in many other map pools. But I think personally it's one of, you know, my old favorites, and kind of a fan favorite map for sure.
Well, I know as Protoss, I hate this. Hate it against Zerg. Against Terran, I hate it as well, because it's just hard to defend from vultures. Your main is so open, your third is extremely open, hard to get a 4th base, but that also works against Terran. It's really hard for Terran to get a 4th gas, and it's really hard for Terran to defend against Reavers, against recalls. So at least in this matchup, it's a little bit better. But PvZ, this map gives me nightmares. You just can't get a 4th gas ever.
Yeah, you have to like hide it a lot of the time almost, and just hope you get lucky. But it is really, really tough PvZ. You ever face siege tank drop here, PvT?
Definitely.
On the cliff, yeah.
So
that
like
is tough.
Like a siege tank combined with a vulture drop in your main simultaneously. Just nightmares on this map.
That's something I honestly hope we get to see in this game. from Dandy. I think you have like a pretty good call out. Dandy's multitasking is like very next level. So seeing him win a game through something like drop harass, I think would be very possible, especially on this map against Bonyth. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Dandy kind of agrees. It is early gas, so from Dandy instead of like a gasless, so drop play is not out of the picture.
I wonder if we're gonna see 2-gate from Bonyth. The lack of ramps make it a little bit stronger.
Yeah,
I don't
like
think we'll see.
10-15.
Yeah, or 10-21 maybe, some kind of early 2-gate. I don't think we'll see 2-fact from Dandy. He's already pulled off gas, and doing 2-fact on a rampless map is a little bit difficult. It's hard to, like, Protoss is gonna get that scouting if they want. And we'll see. We're approaching that time where Bonyth could make a second gateway.
Yeah, it's right about there. I think it is a good call on these types of maps without ramps leading to the main, so definitely an option here. I'm sure Bonyth's aware of it, but we'll see if that's what he chooses. Looks like Dandy just doing a pretty standard 1-fact expo, pulled off gas, so don't expect to see anything too crazy out of Dandy. Ooh, very nice SEV timing. We'll see the probe going to the natural here for Bonyth. But does fall.
Ooh, this is interesting, because you did see the probe, so you know your opponent's intent is to expand. That doesn't necessarily mean they did, right? That could be a fake. And he only got far enough to see one gateway. He didn't see any further tech, didn't see if the range was spinning, didn't see if there was a robo, nothing. But Dandy behind us actually put 3 back on gas. Looks like he's gonna go for an FD, potentially. This is a lot of Marines to make.
Yeah, this is a lot of Marines. He did snipe off that probe as well, so he's really kind of limiting Bonyth's vision of it. So yeah, I'm not sure how this one's gonna go. There is no second gateway rather out of Bonyth, so he's gonna need some very good goon control and to scout this out very early in order to defend it. That's probably Siege, right? Being researched, or is that Mines? I guess it's Mines. Yeah. So probably Mines and Vultures being rallied with this, another Marine as well, but this is the move out timing here for Dandy.
Yeah, but Bonyth didn't cut range to get a faster Nexus. Second gateway is on the way. We don't have a pylon at the front, which kind of helps out with the fight and could potentially help if you need a quick shield battery. So still gonna require excellent control from Bonyth.
Yeah, it absolutely will. And, you know, once again, no vision of this, so this is going to be a big surprise. Immediately, Bonyth moving his Dragoons back, getting in position here, focusing down single Marines, Vulture coming in as well. Mines are completed, so either way, this is going to start getting really messy here for poor Bonyth. Mines have been placed outside the natural. Dandy kind of backing up, using those mines as a shield wall. And targeting down this Nexus here of Bonyth. Still, 3 Dragoons for Bonyth. I believe he's, you know, probably building more one at a time. There we go, 4th. Good probe surround as well. Ooh, he's really got to watch those mines, though.
He's got to be careful with the mines. On the other side, Bonyth has to be careful with the probes. He killed the Marines, so the DPS potential is limited. This Nexus is no longer under threat, and of course Dandy only now is making his command center. So I think all in all, this push did enough damage, but Dandy can't lose this tank. He's got to hightail it out of here. This tank is extremely important. When you go FD, your second tank or your tank production is extremely limited. Even loses a rally Vulture there, and just with that, like that final skirmish there, I think it went south for Dandy because he lost an additional 2 Vultures with mines. And now here comes the counter push from Bonyth, and I think Dandy really screwed up there at the end. He had done a lot of damage. He should have realized now's the time when the Observer is out. He doesn't have any Marines. He doesn't have a bunker. He's got to be very careful here.
He needs the full wall. Yeah.
Like a semi-wall won't cut it. He's got to block the gap as well. And this tank is actually very exposed. It's too close to the wall. He had a small counterattack there. Vulture trying to get into the main. Bonyth sees there's a weakness here, but their tank is out. Is he going to commit?
Ooh, he did dive in. Dandy doing a great job pulling those tanks back. Still, though, Bonyth takes a couple free SCVs and backs off very wisely.
You saw that quick reaction to pull that one exposed tank. Saved its life there.
Yeah, that was very, very nice, honestly. He realized it was too far forward, and just in the nick of time was able to kind of pull it back before the Dragoons engaged. It was really, really cool. Looks like Bonyth, though, in a pretty strong spot, has the Observer over the main. No turrets yet from Dandy, so there's no way to really deny any vision here of Bonyth. He knows exactly what he's up against, and because of that, looks like he's comfortable enough to go ahead and put down a third Nexus here. Looks like Shuttle already completed in the main. First Reaver being loaded up and sent over to Dandy's base. Now there's no anti-air here, no turrets, and I don't think we even have an E-base, so I'm very worried. Okay, we do have 2 Goliaths though, but I was pretty worried about how much damage this Reaver could do from Bonyth.
Could still get damage though. I mean, this is Bonyth. These are very exposed tanks. Just dropping right on top of them. Reaver in range of one of the tanks, but you can see the Dragoons coming in now. Easy to clean this up, and now there's nothing Dandy can do here. Just very vulnerable position, and this is one of the drawbacks of going 4 FD. Everything's just later. You need to do a lot of damage, and even though he did some damage, it just was not enough.
Yeah, I mean, Bonyth he's like a surgeon. He just finds the right openings at the right times, always has his units in good position. That was very well executed there from Bonyth, and a very solid 3-0 victory. So Bonyth will be our second player moving into the grand finals.
Yeah, and that was just impeccable play from Bonyth. Absolutely no weaknesses. It looked like the FD was going to get something done, but in the end, you saw him control Dragoons to kill the one mine that was in his way, and from there, he was able to play the game out cleanly without suffering too much damage, and 3-0, and it just looked like the better player. Just had an answer for whatever Dandy was doing.
Yep, he absolutely did, man. Just solid play as expected out of Bonyth, and he just kind of proves why, once again, he continuously makes it to these grand finals in these events, right? He is just so buttoned up. He's a very exceptional player, and I can't wait to see him go off and face Oya now in the grand finals.
Yep, a little bit of surprise, but